Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
Wait a minute. Let's run that back. We got to run that back. What?
Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
Okay. StreamYard is doing the most. Okay. StreamYard is doing the most. I had to come on here and be a little festive for the holidays. I made some coquito last night, so I'm just really feeling the holiday spirit. I made coquito, which is, I don't know. You know what? I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to start a debate with Dominicans, Jamaicans, because it is. Listen, I made coquito and I made it 0 sugar. And I have to make my condensed milk myself. But once I get that made and then I just make all the substitutions, then I'm good. So it's probably not, the traditional way. And if you want to know what coquito is, and I like to say coquito, I like to say it like that. I just have to say it like that. Coquito. You got to say it like that. It is I'm going to just say the Caribbean's version of eggnog, okay? For those wondering. So, but the reason why I love it is because they be using herbs. Like I was using nutmeg, cinnamon, sticks, all spices. It's like the berry, which is the sweet and the spice mixed together. It's just a whole process, and I really like it because it's very flavorful, and I can get around the calories. I can get around the sugar. So that's what I've been doing. So let's go ahead and get into this topic. Thank you for the compliments. Let's get into this topic because this topic, at this point, I think Cam is truly on a mission to ruin his legacy, which to me is the only good thing that he has going when it comes to his NFL career. I'm not here to take away his performance on the field, but his performance off the field is what is ruining his legacy. And this podcast, honestly, I'm kind of disappointed because when he started the podcast, I saw the whole situation that went down with Brandon Marshall, Ryan Clark, Freddie, and the whole crew. And I saw that and I felt like he created a space for men to come and tell their side of the story and have a real conversation about certain things. And I like that. I like that side of Cam. But this side where we're learning more about his personal affairs, his relationship, his baby mama woes, and his children, it's just a mess. It's a mess. So let's just get into this because this. Let me pull it up because I was not about to sit here and watch 4.5 hours of Cam talking about himself and his relationship. He brought on this woman by the name of Dr. Sarah, who I looked into her. She is a public speaker. She's a podcaster. It's not really given the same level as Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. I'm just here to say that. I'm not really impressed by Dr. Sarah simply because I just have to be real. Like the energy that I got from the clips that I saw, and I can only go off of the clips that I saw. So this is my opinion, and I'm going to get into the clips that I am reacting to so you can see where my opinion is coming from. But the conversation in itself, when they were talking about relationships, this man is clearly in a relationship and he's speaking as if he's a single man. And I felt like it was inappropriate of Dr. Sarah to hold space for the conversation to be narrated, because it was narrated in a way to where he was giving her like, which is the oldest trick in the book, ladies. This is why I don't have male friends. He was giving her this big bro / male friend advice. And if you've ever had a male friend or if you ever had a big bro, they're giving you the advice to butter you up like a biscuit or a slice of toast to see into almost somewhat to groom you in a way, so that when they're ready to pursue you potentially for like a relationship, you're ready mentally. Basically, that's what I got. And it's kind of weird because if you look at the thumbnail, you see Dr. Sarah and then you see Jasmine and then you see Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, and they share a similar phenotype. That's all I'm gonna say. They share that. And so I was kind of disappointed. No, I was definitely highly disappointed in Dr. Sarah because I felt like she was being disrespectful. Like, am I the only one that felt like she was being disrespectful? I felt like she was being disrespectful because one thing that Dr. Cheyenne Bryant did a great job about was she was able to redirect the conversation to separate herself, even at times where Cam tried to make it seem like, well, if we were together or if we were today or if we were to do this, like always trying to narrate the conversation from a standpoint of if we were together. And I felt like that was very disrespectful, or if we were to date, or if we had a fling, or if we had a sex-based relationship. And like I said, it's the oldest trick in the book that I've seen with male friends, or oh, that's my big bro. It's just the oldest trick in the book. And it was sad to see Dr. Sarah fall for it. Like, honestly, but I'm assuming that this is what Cam wanted. Like, this is what he wanted. He was looking for a woman that he found or deemed to be attractive, sexually attractive, and he wanted to bring her on the platform and have this conversation, have this banter, like, I'm big bro, you little sis, or that's my male friend, that's my female friend, and we're just here to have a conversation about relationships and things like that. That's what it came across as. And to me, that came across very disrespectful. Like, Dr. Sarah, if you're going to be a girl's girl, you wouldn't even allow the conversation to be narrated in that way. You would redirect the conversation, set a firm boundary in the middle of the conversation, so that it was just like, basically they were sitting up here talking about themselves, and at every turn, Dr. Sarah did not separate herself from Cam. And I wouldn't even be surprised if he was flirting with her off camera. It just seemed highly inappropriate to me. That's all I'm gonna say. So let me go ahead and pull up what I'm talking about so you can see what I'm talking about, because this is why I don't like male friends. This is why I don't entertain, quote unquote, the male friend. This is why I don't entertain the big bro title. Like, none of that shit is going on with me personally, because men love to take that approach, but really it's just to prepare you for when they actually want to pursue you or act out their hidden motives, but they're preparing you for that. And I felt like that was the narration on the podcast. Let me pull it up. And it's called How to Vet People to Date as a High Value Man. It was right here.
Vetting the man with 60 million, 6 million, 600,000, fine. Understand that his triggers or his baggage is also something that needs to go into consideration.
For sure.
Because the delusion in a relationship that you think that you're about to change a man
I don't.
who was once a hoe,
Yeah.
who was once a womanizer,
Yeah.
who was once a person who had these things at
Yes.
his disposal,
Yes.
by merely being with you, that does not change.
No, it doesn't change. But this is what I'm saying. Get it out of your, be my friend. Sleep with whoever you want to sleep with, because you're not going to be sleeping with me. Now, that's not to say, okay, maybe we could kiss, we could cuddle.
She said, be my friend. She never separated herself with her responses, which I felt like was highly just unprofessional, number one. And number two, it is also disrespectful to Jasmine, who is in a relationship with this man that just had a baby by this man. And it just really rubbed me the wrong way, y'all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, because I'm a girl's girl. I don't play that. You know what I mean? And I have to change the girl's girl title, because like I said, it's becoming very toxic. And y'all know, with the movements online, they become like, you know, advertently toxic. And I'm not trying to push that. I'm saying I have respect for women, and there are lines that men cannot cross with me. Married men in relationships, like, I don't play that. So I'm not going to even entertain the conversation when I know you're in a relationship, you started a family, and all I'm thinking about is the other woman. I'm not thinking about you. I'm not even thinking about myself. I'm thinking about the other woman, because if I were in her shoes, I would feel disrespected if I were to overhear this man having a conversation like this with a woman while he's supposed to be in a relationship with me. That's just me. Like, I don't play that, y'all. I don't even allow myself to be put in a position to where this type of behavior can even happen. Like, I don't. And I felt like Dr. Sarah could have done a better job, and it was just disrespectful. It was very, very disrespectful. But you know, Jasmine is not gonna see it that way. She's not gonna see it that way. But I saw it that way. And I think some other women saw it that way as well.
We can sleep over.
Okay, stop.
I'm talking about when we're dating, when we're way more serious. Listen, Cam, let me tell you, and then you can big bro me. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. So if we get into a space where I choose you and you choose me, while you are sleeping with other women, I'm not sleeping with you. That's all there really is to it.
Okay, but understand this.
Yes.
We grown as fuck.
That doesn't matter.
Hold on. If you come to my house,
Yeah.
or we're in a position of intimacy,
Yes.
and you've already laid the foundation
Of I'm abstinent.
that's cool.
Yes.
I'm not about to play with myself. I'm not going to cuddle with you.
Okay.
I'm not about to kiss you.
Okay.
And even court you.
All I'm hearing is, if they were in a relationship, or if they were act out this conversation, this is what it would be. And ladies, the reason why I'm pointing this out is because this is why I'm against male friends. This is why. There's nothing wrong with male acquaintances, because, you know, male acquaintances, they pay. Male acquaintances have resources. Male acquaintances can create alliance, because if some real shit was to pop off, I'm not going to be on the front line. I'm going to be behind some men. All right. I am not for that. And you can even have male associates, but male friends, absolutely not. And it's because a lot of them don't have self-control. It's not you. It's them. They don't have self-control. And that's what Kim is basically saying. Like, I'm not about to be friends with you. If I find you to be attractive, I'm not about to be friends with you. Like, that is not about to happen. That's not about to go there. So this is why I wanted to react to it, because I felt like it highlighted the male friend. And also, I want you to also understand it's highlighting as well the emotional labor that Dr. Sarah is doing for Cam, while also having this conversation. So what does that do? That drains your energy. And if you're really about the soft girl life, you're going to preserve your energy. You're not going to be sitting up on the phone with a man that is not your man, helping him through his personal issues and his personal problems. And that is what Dr. Sarah is doing. Okay? Okay. I'm just saying.
To a degree where it's like, okay, I'm going to open up the door and I'm going to do those fundamental things. But I'm not going to trigger myself. I'm not going to play that game.
I hear you.
Because when you're talking to a man who has a lot.
Kim, you having self-discipline and self-control is triggering. And Dr. Sarah, why didn't we unpack that? Because I feel like Dr. Cheyenne would have came across more professional and she would have wanted him to go a little deeper. Why does that make you feel triggered when you have to show or to have sexual discipline or self-control? Like, why does a woman having that boundary with you cause you to get triggered? Did you experience rejection when you were younger? Was this something that maybe your mother did to you? I wish he would have elaborated a little more on why he gets triggered, because typically triggers, they come from insecurities, or they come from feeling like you are in a place of lack, or you feel like you're at a place of disadvantage. But it's like, why would you feel that way? What is causing you to get triggered about that? Like, what is the insecurity behind the triggers? What I would have asked him.
Yeah.
Who's been through certain situations. I'm not gonna play this childish game. I don't kiss. I do not kiss to cuddle.
I hear you, Cam. I just know
You see what I'm saying?
There's men on your level that do.
No,
I'm telling you right now.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just being as honest as I know how.
I know.
I'm not the dude that's going to pressure you by no means of that. So the big bro in me is going to tell you, if you're saying that you set that line in the sand.
The big bro with me, you know, he just buttering her ass up. He is. He's buttering her up for some backdoor action that could possibly go down later. That's it.
And you're saying, you're not fucking me. You can keep fucking all them other chicks. While I'm fucking all those other chicks. When I finally do fuck you or have sex with you, what the hell do you think happens to those other chicks?
What do you mean? They're no longer there.
How though? But how long? Do you think it just snaps?
No, I don't. I think it's months. I think it's literal months of getting to know a person. It could be a year of getting to know a person.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like you have allowed a man to come into your life and you're saying, hey, we're going to be friends.
Okay, I'm talking about after the friend point.
That's cool.
When I choose, you choose me. Okay, we kiss, that's fine. Okay, we cuddle, that's fine.
Understand.
Yes.
But this
because I don't kiss my friends. I just want to put that out there.
Understand. So I want to make this abundantly clear because you're also guilty in being an accomplice of the monster. Hear me out. So if you're allowed.
Did he just blame his cheating on Jasmine? Is that what he just did? An accomplice. What? So what is okay. This is crazy. So this is another reason why I wanted to react to this. Ladies, listen. Don't listen to respond. Just listen to listen. Just listen. Really take it all in. Y'all need me to run it? Let's hold on. We are at 2. Okay, let's try to do.
So I want to make this abundantly clear because you're also guilty in being an accomplice of the monster. Hear me out.
2 things he just told this lady, and it went right over her head, that he's a monster and she is an accomplice. That's what he just said. Basically, you are also a part of the reason why I cheat. Jasmine, you are a part of the reason why he cheats on you because you allow it. If you're going to let me mess around on you and be cool with it, I'm a monster and I know that, but you're not innocent in this situation. So yeah, he just put the blame on Jasmine for why he doesn't have any self-control, why he gets triggered when a woman only wants to cuddle and kiss. So yeah, that's what he just said. That's why I be trying to tell the girls, like, some of you, I don't think she agreed. I don't think she agreed. I don't think she was listening. And and ladies, I have to be so honest with you. I'm not telling you that women don't listen because I'm just being mean and I'm just the perfect woman. I listen. No, I've actually been on the receiving end where I don't listen, right? But I started working on my emotional stability and I started working on controlling myself when I'm in conversations with men and it's things that I don't want to hear, right? And that triggers me and then I get in defense mode. So I've been working on becoming more self-control or controlled when in these spaces, especially when these conversations are being had and a man is being blunt and honest with me, to not get defensive and to just listen. Because it may save me in the end. It may save me from wasting my time. It may save me from getting my heart broken. It may save me from expectations that should have never been there in the first place. And I learned this through my healing journey and reflecting on how I got in some of the relationships that I got in. Like, how did I not see the red flag? And it was because there were conversations that were being had like this. And a man was being honest, but it wasn't what I wanted to hear. So I didn't really comprehend what was being said. I just wanted to put my input on what was being said instead of actually listening. So he just said he's a monster. That's what he just said. He said he's a monster.
So if you're allowing a person to say, I'm going to allow you into my life, only in the friend, like we're going to be friends first.
Yes.
If you're not going to be exclusive to me or with me, keep exploring those options.
Yeah.
While that is happening, and he also is sleeping with other women, do you understand the monster that you're creating? That while he's getting to know you and fucking other women, when he finally does have sex with you as the woman, how long or how realistic do you think a man is going to instantly say, okay, I'm official with Dr. Sarah, now I'm going to be exclusive with her, especially if he's also emotionally attached to something that you gave him a green light to do?
Kim, did you just openly admit that when you cheat, you are emotionally attached to other women? That's why you can't stop cheating? And I know that Dr. Sarah is saying, yeah, but I don't really think she's truly comprehending what this man is saying. But ladies, you can't say he didn't tell you though, because he's telling you, like, if you allow me to come into your life and you're setting the tone to allow me to deal with other women while you know about it, while we're also building an emotional connection, but we're not having sex, but you're allowing me to go out and have sex with other women. What makes you think that that's going to stop? That's what he's saying. So he's telling her it's not going to stop. Like, I'm going to still do that because I have emotional connections with those other women as well.
So this is the thing, because I don't want it to come across like I'm saying you're my friend today and next week we decide we're exclusive and now we go together. What I'm saying is there's a vetting process that needs to happen. And I can't say how long the process is because every person is different, right? Sorry, I'm Canadian. I say process.
And another thing is she's focused on her vetting process, but she didn't actually listen to what this man just said. Baby, you don't need to vet. There's nothing to vet here, babes. There's nothing to vet here. The only thing you need to do is move on with your, move on. That's it. You don't need to vet. There's nothing to vet. He just told you what it's not going to be. He just told you what it's never going to be. And that means that you're not compatible. That's what it means. So Dr. Sarah, your way of doing things is not in alignment with Cam's way of doing things. So you're not compatible. There's no convincing him. There's no changing his mind. The only thing you need to do is collect your things and remove yourself. That's it. But see, so many women struggle with the objective being, I got the man, instead of the objective being, I love myself. That's it. I was watching Sex and the City. There was a clip that went viral on social media with Samantha, and she was running up 30 flights of stairs. And she was running up the 30 flights, so she's like, she got to the top. She got inside the man's apartment, and she said, I have to break up with you. I can't do this. I can't be the woman that runs up 30 flights of stairs just to catch you cheating. I love myself more. Sometimes that's what you need to do. Because Samantha had it. Like, Samantha was before her time. She was so before her time. She said, I love myself more than to run up 30 flights of stairs just to catch you cheating. I have to break up with you. And you know what it was? He wasn't even cheating on her. He wasn't. Like, she busted into the apartment to see if he was cheating, and he wasn't even cheating. And she still walked away because the objective isn't to get the man, sis. The objective is, will you still love yourself while with the man? A lot of you don't even love yourself while with the man. And Samantha is like, oh no, I gotta love myself while with the man. And it's clear, me after running up 30 flights of stairs, that I can't love myself while with the man. I would actually hate myself while with the man because I would have to feel like I'm doing things extreme, like running up 30 flights of stairs just to see if you're cheating. So a lot of ladies don't have that take it or leave it mindset. You don't. Samantha had that I'm going to take it or I'm going to leave it. And she left a lot. Like, she left a lot. The objective wasn't the man, though. The objective was loving herself. Seriously. I love Samantha. Samantha was always my fave. I was watching Sex and the City when I had no business watching Sex and the City.
So inside of that, if it takes a month, 6 months, or a year while I'm getting to know this person. Now, this is the thing too, because I have to protect myself. I am a woman, which means I am emotional, which means I will fall in love, okay? Then you add sex to the combination. I'm a slave at this point. Now I'm literally yours at this point, right? So for me, it's not gonna.
I thought in this episode, I only saw the clip, but I thought in this episode, she caught him cheating. And she decided to stay. And then she decided that she was done after she saw herself changing. And she didn't like the changes that she was seeing in herself. And so then she decided to end the relationship. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that was the full episode. But I could be wrong about it. I could be wrong. Because I thought she caught him cheating and she forgave him, took him back. And then she was seeing what it was doing to her. And then she was like, oh, I can't do this. That's what happened. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. Just wanted to clear that up, which I think is important because I tell y'all all the time that I can't take a man back for cheating after cheating because I wouldn't like myself. Like, I would not like myself. I wouldn't like the version of myself that I would have to become in order to be with him. And when I saw that episode with Samantha in adulthood, I'm like, oh my God, I resonate with that so much because I would have to change parts of myself and I just wouldn't like the version of myself that I would have to change into in order to keep that man in my life. So the objective isn't to keep the man. The objective is, will I still like myself? Will I like the version of myself that I would have to be? And a lot of times, y'all, I'm gonna just be real with you. A lot of times, you're not gonna like the version of yourself to keep the man. You're just not. That's just me being real. So what's more important? You loving the man or you loving yourself? And this is where the decentering men comes into play. Like, what is the objective here? And men, they do a great job of choosing themselves. They're not going to take 9 times out of 10, they're not going to take the woman back that cheats. So
to be I'm hanging out with you every single day. It's not going to be we're talking on the phone every single day. It's not going to be those things. It's, do we even like each other? Do we get along? When we start, and inside of this, there's conversations. Is this what you still want? Do you want to still be outside? Are you ready?
After the sex?
No. Way before the sex. Because I'm not going to set myself up for failure. This is during friendship. Friendship means I'm getting to know you. We're hanging out. And it's not going to be all the time because then what happens, Cam? What happens? Familiarity breeds contempt. Now you're used to me. It's like this, oh, okay, well, that's just Sarah being Sarah. I'm not going to let you that's Sarah being Sarah in me. That's not going to happen. But what I am going to do, I'm going to show you glimpses. This is a glimpse. This is who I am. Do you like it? Do you not? This is how we have fun. This is how we don't. This is how we talk. This is how we this. This is how we that. We're friends. I'm not blurring any lines.
We so far off topic, y'all. We so far off topic. This man said that if they started dating and she doesn't agree to having sex, like she doesn't agree to having sex with him while they're dating, he's able to go and have sex with other women, entertain other women, date other women. Like, he's not about to kiss and cuddle with you. And if they were to move forward in a relationship, he's not going to stop those other connections. Just because you become, I think she used the term exclusive, it's not going to stop him moving forward with those other connections, because she set the tone that way. And instead of her just looking at the situation like, okay, we're just not compatible, she's talking about her vetting process. And ladies, he don't care about that. He don't give a damn about that. All he hearing is a bunch of word salad. He's not even processing none of what you're saying. Like, how do we even get so far off topic?
Once it becomes, oh, I kind of like this person. Okay, I'm not gonna say I haven't kissed a man that I liked. That he's not in my friend zone. He's just being friends first, right? So when that happens, I don't even have to ask, to be honest. Most time, after a certain period of time, this man is already deading off. There is no more useless casual sex, let's just say that. But he might have a few women that he's got to choose between. He's got the ones that he likes, and I'm in the running of the ones that he likes.
And I'm going to be honest with y'all. If I ever find out that I'm in a lineup, I bow out gracefully. Because you setting the tone, and you know what you're putting up with? You're putting up with a man that does not see your worth, because if he did, he wouldn't put you in the lineup. So if I ever find out I'm in a lineup, this was fun. I appreciate the experience, but I think you should move forward with the other women. I always do that. Like, I've actually been out on dates with men, and he openly talks about his other dates and things. And I'm like, you know what? I think this is where it ends. And you know why? I would rather be the woman that he wonders about, dreams about, fantasizes about, than being in the relationship, or in the in a relationship with him where he's fantasizing about his other options. I can only be his first choice. If I'm not his first choice, his only choice, then there's no point. Because one thing men do, they create the fantasy about the woman that they didn't pick. And we saw that in Love is Blind with Leo. So he picked Brittany, and I'm pretty sure when he was with Brittany, he was still probably fantasizing about what Hannah was like. So you have to understand what you're putting how you're putting yourself in a position to be strung along, and for him to always wonder about the other woman when you allow a lineup to happen and you're a part of the lineup. Now, if you out here finessing and you on your sprinkle tip, this advice really does not apply to you. But if you find out that you're in a lineup, I need you to go back to the episode from Love is Blind with Leo, Brittany, and Hannah. And did you see how he was stringing both of them along? And then he decided to he was trying to create like some type of competition among them, just a little bit. But then also I noticed that he became super manipulative when he felt like Hannah was going to choose, what was the other man's name? Hannah's other option. And so then he felt the need to choose Hannah because of the competition with the other man. It just gets really messy. So either you are his only choice in his first choice, or you will always be the woman where he picks you and he fantasizes about the other woman. Period. And one thing I notice about these men, if the relationship is hard, because relationships take work, he's automatically thinking about that other woman. So I'm not going to put myself in that position. I would rather be the girl that he fantasizes about than the girl that he's in the relationship with.
Let's see how this goes. But I've never not been chosen. It has never happened to me.
I'm not saying, that's not my argument. You are beautiful.
Thank you for
So
saying that.
of course a man is going to choose you.
No, because the other women are beautiful too.
But understand, a man will have multiple women in a fuck zone.
Yes.
And will never see the light of day.
I don't agree.
Oh my God, I'm giving you my reality.
You are Cam Newton.
I'm trying to
And that's what I've been trying to get y'all to understand. He's telling y'all what he does. Like, that's what I'm like. This man is telling you what he be out here doing, and you like, no. Like, girl, what do you mean? He's telling you what he be out here doing. Jasmine, you should be at home taking notes, sis. That's somebody said, are they flirting? Are they? Are they flirting? This is so inappropriate to me.
You are in the 1% of the 1%. You cannot put your reality on all men.
I'm not saying that, but if you're talking about high valued men, I'm talking to the men who can relate to what I'm saying.
Yes.
You have been an accomplice of the monster that you have created. If you're allowing me.
Are there any true high value men out here? Is he able to speak for you? I just want to know that. First of all, I don't consider you high value when you are allowing another man to speak for you. I don't respect that at all. I will never respect a man that allows another man to speak for him. I just think that that's weak. So it's not giving manly at all. It's getting better. When another man can speak for you, or when you can take on the ideologies or thought process mentalities of another man, that's just so weak to me. You are a follower and you're being influenced. That's it.
Like, let's just say, and I'm being respectful, I'm just trying to give you a realistic example.
Okay.
Me and you start dating.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you say, hey, Cam, I know exactly.
You see how disrespectful this conversation is? Me and you start dating. And did anybody watch this all the way through? Did this go on for the entire 4.5 hours? Do y'all not feel like this is disrespectful while he's in a relationship? Please let me know. Because for her to be a doctor, I'm like, this is highly unprofessional. Highly, highly, highly unprofessional. And that's one thing you'll learn if you have a good therapist. They're going to set that boundary with you so that you know never to cross that boundary. So this is just crazy to me.
Exactly who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Make no mistake about it. I'm not an easy catch.
Yeah.
So if you want to be my friend, let's date.
Yeah.
But what comes with that dating is no sex.
Yes.
You can still fuck all them other hoes, sluts, girls, concubines, whatever.
Jezebels.
But understand,
he's telling her this is what it would be if I was to deal with you on an intimate level. And he's telling her that I'm going to be dealing with all these other women while also dealing with you.
While we're getting to know each other 2 months, 2 weeks, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, you're not forgetting, or you're forgetting about the other woman that I'm still having casual sex with that you gave me the green light to do while we're getting to know each other. When you finally say, hey, Cam, all right.
I don't finally say it.
Dr. Sarah.
Yeah.
Do you want to be my girlfriend? You say, yes.
And a lot of times, thank you, Choosy Chosen, he's setting up his play. A lot of times, the male friend does this. The male friend does this. Okay, that's why I wanted to point it out. This is why I'm against it. He's setting up his play. So when he goes in for she ready. Like, she's ready. She's ready. She already know she already know what it is.
I do. What happens to the other girls? It just doesn't. Ta-da!
This is why I'm saying it takes time. Because if me and you are getting to know one another, we're friends, and then you one day are like, damn, I really love Sarah for real. That's what happens. I really love Sarah for real. I love you. I love you too. Okay, great. We're still just cool. We got mad love for each other. We have not crossed the line. I feel like, for me, in my experience, create so much respect for one another that you wouldn't even lie down with me if you knew, because you know me, everybody's different. Look, Cam, everybody's different. Because for me, from the jump, I would like to be monogamous from the jump. I don't know what time holds. I have no idea. Or I would like to be honest about it. But if it comes down to you have 3 favorite girls, I'm one of the 3, and you don't want to let them go, choose them. Don't ask me to be your girlfriend when you're still.
Y'all, she giving me bobblehead Skittles in cereal boxes. You know, the ones where you remember the cereal. I don't know if they got cheap. I haven't had cereal in a minute. Remember when they used to put they had the cereal boxes and they used to put the toys in there? That's what she give me. She give me the cereal with the toys in it. It's giving bobblehead. It's giving Skittles, y'all. Cause what? It's embarrassing. Remember when I think I said this in my red pill video about the Fugazi guy. They don't like talking to women that are strong-minded because they challenge them in ways that make them very uncomfortable and it's very triggering for them. So he had to go talk to her that is giving, bobblehead Skittles and to soothe his ego. But he's also he is really making her look bad. Like he's making her look bad. Real bad, girl. Real bad. Like she's like one of those girls that be on those podcasts, like Fresh and Fit. Cause it's like a lot of the stuff is like going over her head, and it's just going over her head. Like the whole conversation, it just went over her head.
Full-blown entertaining situationships over there.
But
be my friend.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's not how it goes. If you give a man an option to say, who would I want to be with?
Yes.
He's going to say you. But also knowing that he has other women that you allowed him to have early on in your relationship.
So he's basically saying, I'm gonna lie to you, I'm gonna tell you sweet nothings, but I'm not gonna stop dealing with those other girls.
But it wasn't a relationship, it's a friendship.
Friendship, early on in y'all friendship, whatever ship that you want to damn sail with. What happens to those women?
They get cut off.
How? But how long are you willing to? That's my question. How long are you?
Could be months. Could be a year. Could be. It doesn't matter, because this is the thing too, Cam. I also have options, and I also believe in getting to know more than one person at a time. So you're also in the running. Let's say me and you are friends, right? And you're like, you know what, Sarah, I'm really feeling you. Damn, Cam, I'm really feeling you too. Okay, let's date. We get to know each other. We're going out. We're feeding the ducks. We're having conversations. We're going to movies. We're laughing. We're doing nothing on our computers at the house, not saying a word. We're just chilling. We're just having the best time. We're allowing silence to be silence, and we're allowing noise to be noise. And it is amazing, right? We have such a great time. And inside of that,
listen. This man is honest. That's what I like. Let's make that clear. Jasmine is not being bamboozled. She there because she want to be. None of these ladies are being bamboozled. This man is being blunt, honest about it. Now, and I think it's because in the past he's been sneaky, he's been a liar, he's been manipulative, and da-da-da. All right. He still ain't shit. Let's just keep that in mind. But now he wants to be honest. He wants to be forthcoming. Cool. None of these girls can sit up here and be like, oh, I didn't know. Jasmine can't say that. None of them can say that because this man is being honest. She's so busy trying to speak from her perspective and her point of view. And this man is telling her, this is what it is. And this is what it's not. And this is what it will never be. Which is why he's not marrying Jasmine. Okay? He not marrying that woman?
Every so often, because you are a man, and I do expect you to get off the way that you need to get off, because I understand the way that men work, go do you. And I already know about it because I expect a man to be a man. And what I'm not going to do is place boyfriend expectations on you when you're not my boyfriend. What I'm not going to do is place husband expectations on you when you're not my husband. And don't place girlfriend or wife expectations on me when I am neither. You are my friend. I don't kiss my friends. I don't sleep with my friends. So there is no way that I'm going to start to put myself into the delusion of, oh, now we go together. No, we don't. You are somebody that I'm sleeping with, that I happen to have energy with, that I call when I'm on an off day, or he's my emotional support. I don't need that. I already have that with my girlfriends. I already have that with my 2 guy friends. I already have that with my parents. I don't need it. So if you're not strictly bringing value and you don't want the same things that I don't want you. I want what wants me. You probably want what wants you. That's why you chose the way that you chose. You have an amazing girlfriend, right? And the same thing. I personally feel like so many people get into these situationships because they're bored, or because they want connectedness, or they want love, or they want passion, or whatever it is that they want. And all of that is okay. But I know me enough to know that that's not what I want. I want a person that is willing to say, I value you so much that these girls over here, they pale in comparison to what you bring to this table. I would be hurting myself by not choosing you powerfully. I would literally...
Y'all, she exhausted. My God. All right. First and foremost, can we just highlight the fact that she keeps using this situation as an example and a talking point? But it's like, why would you even choose the man that has a lineup of women to begin with? That man ain't serious about a real relationship. That's what I keep. She is making this about herself. She's projecting a lot of her experiences on Kim and his thought process and what he has gone through and what he does, really. And she keeps talking about herself, but it's like, you're not smart if you pick the man that has a lineup. Like, you're just not smart. You want your time to be wasted. You want to be pumped and dumped, sis, because why would you choose that man that would do that? Why would you choose that man? He ain't serious. A man that's serious about you. It's a one and done type situation. It ain't, oh, it's you, but I'm still trying to figure out things with these other girls that I got. Like, no. So she wants her time to be wasted. She's cool with sharing her body with this man and then energy with this man. But because she has other options, it's not a big deal. Like, I could go. It's just, girl, please. This is what is wrong with modern dating. It's just people out here with different intentions, different motives. Y'all not compatible. Y'all have a sex-based relationship only, and it's ran its course, and now you're heartbroken about it because some feelings were involved. And her whole talking point is just delusional to me. That's all. It's delusional because her talking point is going to set her up to get her feelings hurt. That's it.
Be hindering the man that I know I could be by not choosing you powerfully. And for that, I got to let them go. And that has been my only experience up until this point. So I can't relate to him being like, well, I still have those girls. If you still be with them, be my friend. There's nothing wrong with that. And in the interim, I also have other male friends that I haven't crossed the line with. So it's not inappropriate. It's not a slut. It's not casual sex. It's none of that. It's who is.
And then she's all over the place. Like, she talking about her male friends. So your male friends are men. She's not ready for what she thinks she's ready for, because if she really was, you wouldn't be having male friends in the wing, and you know they're in the wing because they want to maybe have something more with you, but then also pursuing a monogamous relationship with someone like Cam. She's just all over the place. She seems confused on life, and she seems confused on what she really wants, because her actions don't align with her outcome that she wants. Her actions do not align. Her mentality doesn't even align with what she's looking for. It just doesn't. She seems kind of confused. Not gonna lie.
In alignment. And that's the problem with society. People want to say that because it's abstinent or because you're celibate, that it's childish. No, it's not. I'm preserving my body for what is mine. I am preserving and waiting and patient enough not to rush to do it wrong. I don't want to figure it out on the way. I want to know, do we powerfully choose each other or not? There's no right or wrong way. But I know the way that I want. And I know that my husband, my boyfriend, my man wants the...
She has done hopped and skipped all over the place. First, she was talking about sharing her body and sharing energy, but then she was saying, I'm like, woo! Then she was saying, then she brought up the other women and how those other women don't compare to me. Like, I have never not been picked or chosen. Then she talking about celibacy and being abstinent, and it's just a lot. I'm confused too. Okay. I'm like, damn, am I slow? Can I not keep? But she's like really hopping all over the place. That's why I said bobblehead Skittles. You know, the bobblehead Skittles. You throw the Skittles around, you got one over there, one over there. They're different colors. They're all over the place. That's why
the same thing. Because he wouldn't want me to still be like, oh, well, this man gives me money on the side. Because by the way, the same way that men look at a beautiful woman is the same way that women look at money. And it's just the reality of the situation. Men are looking at healthy heirs. They're looking at their legacy. Women are looking at safety and security. So anybody that even has the nonsense to be like, oh, well, he's shallow, he's a man. Or any man that wants to say, oh, well, she's a gold digger, she's a woman. That's just reality of the situation.
Kim is exhausted. Listen, she done talked for, I would say, 2 minutes maybe. I have ADHD, so this is a lot. I think she done brought up like 5 different conversations in 2 minutes. That's why he just sitting back like.
That was a lot. I know.
A lot, you know.
You don't agree.
I think the point that you're making is true, and I'm in agreement with that. But I don't think you're getting my point.
She didn't get her point. She didn't get her point. And he's gonna say, I believe what you're saying is true for her. Because one thing Cam does when he has these conversations, he's speaking on him and his truth. And so he's not gonna say, oh, you're wrong, even though that's what she's saying, right? He's gonna say, I think what you're saying is true for you and your experience, but I'm telling you mine though. So this is just a mess.
My point is, when you place expectations with something or someone, as you are getting to know, you're in that phase of understanding who this person really is. You use the word of sifting through who that person is. My argument is, while you are sifting through, once you give the okay to, while we're sifting and understanding who we are, I can go parlay and have sex with other women. Understand that relationship is still being built with those other women.
Agreed.
What I'm saying to you is, when we finally sift and you find out about me, I find out about you, how long are you willing to give me to eliminate what you allow? And in all times, it's not just an abracadabra wand that you could just cut off. A lot of women have expectations of a relationship that they were accomplices of.
He keeps blaming Jazz. This is crazy.
As a man who has a lot and has a lot of options. So when he explores those options, knowing that he's still buying time for the woman that he really wants, it's not as easy as you saying, I want you. What you've allowed him to do is to say this is the reality. I want you, but damn, her pussy good too.
Okay.
And that's the reality. Because you've allowed that. How do you get to a point, or what do you say, Cam, what would you prefer me to do? If this is the man that you want, don't even give him that option.
I don't. I expect it. I expect a man to be a man.
I know Jasmine is going through it, y'all. I ain't no way. Ain't no way. Y'all, this is probably the most disrespectful episode I've seen him do so far. And I'm like, if he can do this on a public platform, like, what is he doing behind the scenes? What is he doing behind the scenes, y'all? No self-control. And he keeps highlighting how he has no self-control. So this is not a man that is suitable for marriage. Men like this should never marry. And I don't know why they just won't accept that about themselves. I think it's because of the kids, like all the kids that they have. And it's like, if you're out here having all of these kids, you need to settle down and get married. But he should have never had kids. He should have never got married. He should have just stayed a single man. That's it. But that would have required him to make some adjustments when it comes to his belief system. It would have required him to make some adjustments when it comes to maybe how he saw his future. Because maybe he saw his future with children in it. But it would have required him to be just a little bit less selfish and not have kids at all. Like, this is not a man that's suitable for marriage at all. If a woman was stupid enough to marry this man, I'm just going to assume that you're allowing him to cheat in peace.
And I don't say, oh, yes, sleep with everyone, smash everything. I expect you to be smashing everyone. If you are a single, successful man, maybe not everyone, but I expect you to be having sex. Let's just be realistic.
Right.
I would be delusional to think that while I'm getting to know you, if I'm not having sex with you, that you're not having sex with other people.
Thank you.
That is delusional. And so I expect a man to be a man, but I also expect that my man, my husband, my boyfriend, my person understands the value that I bring, where it's a no-brainer.
Yes, it is. But
he doesn't see your value. He sees other women. Remember when I said, if I find out I'm in a lineup, I just bow out gracefully. And it's because if a man saw your value, he wouldn't put you in a lineup. So lady, he's not going to see you as worthy or as value. He ain't seeing that shit. He's seeing what's between them legs, and that's it. He's seeing like, oh, does she get better head than the other women that I got? That's it. Like, he's not thinking about your value beyond your body. That's really it. That's really it. So I don't even know why she's talking about anything like this conversation. What was the purpose behind it? I don't get it. What was the purpose behind this?
Doesn't make it easy.
And then the title of this part in the podcast is titled "Getting Out of the F Zone,"
which I agree.
That do not undervalue
I would never.
or undermine that other relationship that you've greenlit and said, man, fuck them hoes.
But I didn't greenlight it, Cam. That's what I'm saying.
But when I mean greenlit, I'm saying while you're getting to know me, I'm celibate. We're celibate. We're just friends. We're getting to know each other.
Yes.
And I'm saying, do you not know I got all type of temptation crossing my path?
Yes.
And these nuts are full.
And let it all out, baby.
That's cool, but I'm not letting it all out on you.
Right.
You're allowing me to let it out on somebody else.
Let it out.
It's a relationship that is also being created.
But do we agree? And you said the F zone.
And see, that's why I felt like this conversation was highly inappropriate and disrespectful, because he's speaking as if he's a single man, and he shouldn't be speaking on topics as if he's a single man if he's in a relationship. The baby is not even 1 year old, y'all. The baby is not even 1 year old. And this tells me a lot about the type of woman Dr. Sarah is, because no self-respecting woman would sit down and allow the conversation to be narrated in this way. Because this conversation could have been narrated in so many different ways. But this is the narration that she chose. And it just makes her look bad. It makes her look bad.
Most of those girls in the F zone will never get out the F zone.
Right.
So you go let it out in the F zone, staying on my level anyway, because I am a wife.
So this is
they are not.
This is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yes.
They have their place.
I gotta be honest with y'all. I feel like they both use word salad. I feel like they both they're very similar. Honestly, I don't think that the woman in the situation is above Kim at all. I feel like this is his equal. They have a similar mindset. They don't listen to the other person. They're like, she has an ego about herself. The ego about herself is she wants a man to submit to her plan. That's what she wants. And Cam wants a woman to submit to his. They're equals. They're one of the same. Okay? They're one of the same. And we got to stop doing that, like, as women, just because we see another woman and we think that she has a similar mindset to us. She may not. She has a similar mindset to Cam. That's why he picked her to come on the show after Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. I would. Yeah, Dr. Bryant would rate Dr. Sarah's low functioning. I would agree with that. And that's why he picked her to come on the show after Dr. Bryant. Yeah, he wanted another attractive doctor on his show to manipulate after Dr. Bryant hurt his ego. Facts. Facts. Right. So he's also attracted to her. He's attracted to her and they're equals. And he needed a woman to come on that was more of his equal, that was more on his low functionality level, so that he could have this conversation. And this is what he wanted. So.
Placement.
Yes.
So when a man finds a wife,
yes.
When he finds a partner to grow with,
yes,
he's still going to have them too.
Not when they're older.
Oh.
It's usually the older man thing, you know.
Don't say that.
I'm just. It's not as crazy.
Because this is the thing. like I said, we're in this establishment of fellowship.
Yes.
I talk to a lot of high value men.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, most of them are.
This feel more like a date. And you know what else is even crazier? This live stream was 4.5 hours long. That's what they posted. That's what they posted to the internet. This seems more like a date than anything to me.
Members.
I love
where
that.
we have conversations upstairs, and for a woman not to know what a man thinks is so ignorant of her. Because if you don't know what a man thinks, even when you say certain things like, oh, just because a man can weigh his options, a woman can weigh her options too. My thing to that is, while you're weighing those options with 2, 3, sometimes even 4 different men, even though you're not having sex with them, a man thinks this: if you're not having sex with them, that's still as guilty as you knowing what the intentions of your entertaining those other men, because a man can play his role for centuries.
Agreed. So can women.
So all I'm saying to you is like, and to other women, you're playing a game.
Storm, you know why they're not going to be talking about the STDs. You know why? That's too much like a real conversation. That's too much like moving the culture forward. That is too much like doing the right thing, having the right conversations, being responsible. That's too much like right.
Where you also are an accomplice.
I can hear that. I receive that.
And that's all I'm saying.
I can agree.
Do they always suppress the desire to be with other women? Yes and no. Because there's times where you're in a relationship where it's like, oh man, girl, you got my undivided attention. And as soon as something triggers that man, and it may not be something that triggers a man in our relationship or the specific relationship that you're in, it could be business.
Yeah.
It could be family.
Yes.
It could be.
And I'm gonna also kill the delusion when it comes to this as well. Like, there's this delusional trend on social media where women are delusional and they really think that a man with money, we're not even gonna say high value. We're just gonna say a man with money is never gonna allow you to entertain other men and he know about it. No way. Like, that's never happening. The girls that you be seeing out here that be dealing with the men with money, they're trapped. All right? They're under his control. All right? Because a man is never going to allow you to deal with other men and he know about it. So the city girls tried to really push that delusion, but we saw how Carisha was being controlled and manhandled by P. Diddy, all because he was paying. And I'm talking about the men that sign on the dotted line that they want a transactional relationship with you. I'm not talking about the generous man. I'm talking about the man that signed up to have a transactional relationship, came to the agreement of having a transactional relationship with you. The whole reason he is signing up for that is because of control. That's it. That's the benefit that he gets out of it. Do you really think a man that is signing up for a transaction, the benefit is for him to just pay? You think it's sex? Hell no. Because you have to understand that control is the biggest kink here. It's not sex with you. That's delusional. That's delusional for women to think that the biggest kink is just to have sex with you. No, the biggest kink is the control while having sex with you. The control to have you dress a certain way, talk a certain way, walk a certain way, do things on demand. That's the kink, sis, which means you would have to give up that control in order to be in a relationship with a man that's okay with being in a transactional relationship. Okay? I don't know why girls are delusional about this. I think it's social media because I don't really see women be real about that. Like, the kink is the control. It's not sex with you. He can go have sex with anybody. But understand that the next woman would be willing to submit and give that control. And if I'm lying, right, from the brokest men on the internet to the men that have decent money in their pockets, right, what are they always talking about at the top of their lungs? Submit, submission, 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 submission. So what do you think the reason for a man signing his name on a dotted line for a transactional relationship, not a committed relationship, a transactional relationship. Why do you think he wants to sign up for that? Submission, control. Duh. Why? I don't get it. That's why I said the sprinkle lifestyle ain't for me. I said it's not for me. This is why I said it's not for me. I can't be controlled. I just can't. Because when I want to leave, I'm leaving. I'm not staying. And if you watch Sex and the City and you watched how Samantha was, she dealt with men that had money. She didn't deal with a brokey, honey. She was not out here dealing with a brokey. She wasn't out here dealing with brokies, but she had her own money though. And when she was ready to leave, she left. When she was ready to go, she went. So y'all need to like really pay attention. Sarah Jessica was stuck. Sarah Jessica was asking Charlotte for some money. Came up in her apartment and was like, "Can you pay my rent?" Samantha was never that girl. Samantha was the girl that always had her bills paid. And if she wanted a man to pay, a man was ready to pay too. But she always had her own. That's why she was able to have freedom. That's why she was able to move around and do what she wanted to do. But Sarah was stuck. And then she was stuck on big. She was stuck on a man that really didn't even like her like that. Y'all need to pay attention and really pay close attention and really see what some of these shows are really putting down. And also when it comes to social media, just know they're only sharing with you the highlights. They're not sharing with you the cons and the things that they actually have to put up with.
Circumstantial to children or whatever, he's going to do what puts him at ease. And even though sometimes coming to you may put him at ease,
yes,
also remember, going to them may also put them at ease.
So that's what I was saying at the beginning of this interview. We talked about seasons. There are seasons in relationships. And I understand that some seasons things are not going to be gumball drops and lollipops. And that's okay. But what I also know is at the end of the day, and this for me, I can only speak for me. I can't speak for anybody else. For me,
girl, I thought you were speaking for yourself this whole time.
I want a man to understand the value that I bring in a way that he is willing to sacrifice that part of himself. And this is the thing.
Can I stop?
No, I just have to say one thing, just really quick. When you have the barometer of integrity with yourself, again, because this is the truth. No woman is freaking Beyonce got cheated on. Let's keep it a buck. And she's incredible, stunning, successful, submissive. Like from what I've heard about Beyonce, she's a pretty incredible woman. And she got cheated on, right? But the question, well, we know it was cheating because of the music that she made. But most people that are in these kinds of relationships have arrangements. And that's really all that it comes down to. Are you willing to keep it real? Now, what it sounds like is if the arrangement is, I'm still going to be me. I may not be ready to be 100% exclusive yet, but I could do better. You know, that's still an arrangement. It doesn't mean you tell her, hey, babe, I'm tired of this. I'm going to go do this at this time. That's not what that means. But do both people know who and how their person is? It all goes back to that. And so for me knowing what I want and my desire and how I want to show up for my man, I want to recklessly trust, which means he has to have leadership, which means he has to be honest and certain and real and raw and direct and decisive. All of those things are very important for me inside of my partner. And sometimes that means telling me the truth, and the truth may hurt, but the truth also sets you free. And now I have a choice. Is that what I choose? But I don't want to start that way, personally. I would rather just let a man, be my friend. And if you want me, come and get me. Because also, Cam, this is another thing. I don't want to tell my man, you need to cut this off if you want to be with me. I'm not in the lead. I am following. I am in my feminine. I don't want to be in my masculine with my man. You've got to tell me, all right, baby, I'm done with this. It's me and you. Will you be my girl? Yes, absolutely.
You know, y'all know how I be doing my research. So I was on her Instagram and I went back a few years. And this is a woman that was out here promoting how to become a high value feminine woman. So Are y'all ready to move on? I'm ready to move on. I'm gonna get to the point where they were talking about, because this is just a mess. I think it was titled, what was it called? I think it's called Will Cam Get Married? Hold on, let me see. Oh, wait. Here it is.
Do you see yourself marrying her?
To your point,
Yeah.
marriage
Yes.
is not the ultimate goal for me.
That's a no.
Yes.
I do want to get married.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good.
I do, but listen. So the thing about that word of, well, marry the girl, I'm not saying that to you directly.
Right.
I'm saying that to the people who see this and their response. We're so trauma bond by this thought of get married, have kids.
Yeah.
That's the way that the propaganda of life that everybody has been putting in our faces to say, okay, get married, have kids, whatever. Not or overlooking or not identifying that that's still a way for the devil to dwell in.
You know, I have to say, so marriage for me, when I think about marriage, right, we have to understand that, first of all, a marriage license, which is different from marriage, but I think a lot of people get caught onto the marriage license part, wasn't even established. It's really new. It happened in 1929, and it happened so that black men couldn't marry white women. It was illegal. So now you can't get your marriage license. You're not really married. That's what the marriage license is rooted in. But I do believe that and I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about anyone in general. This is just my opinion. If you found a person that you feel in alignment with, that a man, because I feel like men don't even feel safe to be themselves in 2024. You know, there's all of these different things trying to be like, you need to be a man. You can't be vulnerable. If you cry, I'm gonna leave you. Like, oh, so you're telling this man he can't be human, is essentially what you're saying. If you're not a safe space for him, why would you choose him? But
She's exhausting, y'all. I'm sorry. She's exhausting. I'm gonna let her finish, but my goodness. Oh my goodness.
When I hear people that say, I have a woman that makes me feel safe, that makes me feel seen, that makes me feel heard, I understand why it'd be like, let me choose this person because I want to honor her in that way. Now, for me, when I think about marriage, there's a difference between marriage, which I think God has to be in the picture. And if it's not a God thing, I don't think marriage should even really exist because God is the barometer, right? That's the integrity point. But I'd also think that a marriage license, if you're not a God-fearing person, that's solely in protection of the person that you met.
For sure.
And if you have a good person, then it's almost like, do you want to know my idea of a marriage, of like the non-godly version? This is what I would say for people that are like, you meet a good person. I believe we should leave people off better than we found them. So the first 3 years, oh, wash your hands. You take what you had, I'm gonna take what I have, like we're good. 5 to 10 years in a prenuptial agreement, this is what it looks like for you. 10 to 15 years, this is what it should look like for you. 15 to 20 years, this is what it should look like for you. And 20 plus years, this is what it should look like. Why? Because when you have a good, solid, virtuous, feminine woman, innately, like I wish, and I say this all the time, I wish that I wasn't wired in a way to automatically seek my man's need first. I'm not wired that way. I wish that I could just.
They done bought. Listen, he done got another Jasmine Brown on the show, y'all. She's so all over the place. I'm just like, oh my God.
Be like, oh, forget about him. Immediately I go into helpmate. Immediately I go into what can I do? Immediately I go into what does he need? Immediately I go into, I literally can read this man's mind because I'm studying him. I know when his breath changes. I know when he's upset. I know when he's pretending like he's not upset. And because I learn in that way, automatically, that is a whole new level of capacity because it's a human, which is going to take away from what it is that I'm building. And if I'm taking away from what it is that I'm building, which by the way is kind of awesome, but if I'm going to allow that to be diminished in a way, then why wouldn't a man want to say, you know what, I'm going to leave her better than I found her? Because there's no way that there's never been a man I've been with that hasn't grown while I'm with him. It's just not realistic. It's just not, it's not in their bank account, not in their mentality, not in their emotional state, not in their sense of freedom, not in their sense of self. That has never happened, which I also, you know, not to just for clarity, I've never been broken up with, right? And so inside of these experiences, it's like, okay, well, maybe, just maybe, we need to stop looking to date the people that just want the perception, that just want the dating experience, that just want the bags and the cars and the things, and look for the good woman who really wants to be your helpmate in a way that you would feel good. If you get married and it doesn't work out, that's human too. But if you're really locked in with God, I mean, we all change.
Man, you just threw an alley-oop to something that you know what my issue with marriage is?
Tell me.
Especially from the masses.
Please tell me.
Oh, wow.
Marriage, to me, is a godly thing.
Yes.
People are throwing marriage in front of people in a godly way, but they aren't godly.
Ooh, you preaching, Cal.
So in essence, you're speaking of
Yeah. I know a groupie when I see one, okay? I know a group. Let me be respectful. I know a groupie when I see one. I know a groupie when I hear one. I know a groupie. Okay? What the hell? My ears hurt. Like, my ears hurt. I told you. Remember when I said they are equals and y'all were like, Kim is what is he preaching?
Of a godly thing,
Yep.
but you're ungodly. So when
Which is why it doesn't work. It's why 2 out of 3 marriages end in divorce.
For sure. So when I say certain things like my fear of divorce is greater than my desire to get married,
Mm-hmm.
a person who's saying, but why you keep having all these kids? It's literally this. A person telling me to get married, first off, I'm going to cite the source. I'm going to look at your Instagram page. I'm going to look at your Twitter.
Is somebody telling Kim to get married? I would never tell this man to get married. Absolutely not. He doesn't need to get married. He needs to stay single. He needs to go get a vasectomy and he needs to call it a day. Let's wrap it up. Okay? Because at this point, that's the only thing he needs. He don't need marriage. He needs to go get snipped. That's what he needs. And since Jasmine likes to rub his back and she likes to, she could just tell just by the way that he breathes what he needs. Well, you need to go take him to the doctor so he can get snipped, and you need to make sure that he's taken care of after the fact, because that's the only thing this man needs. This man don't need marriage. He don't need to traumatize nobody else. He don't need to hurt nobody else. So we need to get him prepared for that. Okay, so he need to go get snipped. And then with his podcast, I guess the truth is out here. After he gets snipped, he could go deal with whatever woman he want to deal with. It ain't our business. I don't care. But marriage, absolutely not. This man don't need to get married. I don't know. Like, maybe he's feeling these societal pressures because he's a preacher's kid and he feels judged by the church. I think whenever he says the masses, I really think it's church people that he feels judged by. Because honestly, I'm like, this is the last thing, this marriage? Why? He don't need to get married. Absolutely not.
Twitter. I'm going to look at your TikTok. I'm going to look at all these different things. And I'm going to say to you, number one, are you a godly person? If you're not, I'm not going to take no type of criticism from a person that I wouldn't take advice from.
Period.
So for me, I'm looking at this godly talk of, man, God said he who finds a wife finds a good thing. But God also said, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery.
Yeah.
So if you're not following those commandments, shut the fuck up.
I agree.
And get out my motherfucking comments.
I agree.
And keep all that shit to your motherfucking self.
Facts.
Because ain't nobody sent for that bullshit. Because I need to tell people, like, bro, listen, it goes one or two ways.
Yeah.
And the way that y'all going, I'm locked all the way in. And I'm the person who have jumped on a grenade of truth to say, okay, bro, okay, sis, since y'all want to judge me,
Yeah.
y'all know all my bullshit.
Yeah.
Y'all know all my
Show me.
Let's talk about you.
Yeah.
I don't want to go tit for tat.
Yeah.
So when I look at marriage, lastly for me, is You're talking about a godly thing, but the source is coming from an ungodly person.
But I also think it's important to mention that it's not only godly people that are in church. Because there's a lot of ungodly people that go to worship every Sunday and they live like Sodom and Gomorrah Monday through Saturday. And I think really and truly, you got to look at the character and the integrity of a person, you know, and I agree with you.
Exactly, Dr. Sarah. This man ain't shit. We looking at the character of this man. This man ain't shit. He's not going to be valuable when it comes to marriage. He's not going to be valuable to any woman out here because he's selfish and he's self-centered. So y'all can take religion out of it. I don't even know why religion is even being brought into this. This is another form of gaslighting to me. Kim, you have shitty character. That's not changing. You don't know how to be loyal to people. You don't. You only know how to be loyal to yourself, which is why you're not a high value man. Because like I said, a high value man is he's going to be nurturing to himself. So he's going to be self-nurturing to himself. He's going to be able to nurture those that he's in relationships with. That includes girlfriend, wife, children, family. And he's also going to be nurturing to a community. So that means he's going to be able to provide resources to a community that can help nurture a community. He's not doing all of that. He's not doing all of that. At best, he can offer some resources here and there, but he's not someone that you can share a relationship with. It doesn't matter if you're the girlfriend, wife, or his child. He's not emotionally safe because when it comes down to it, he's going to choose himself, which means he's not valuable to anyone but himself. That's it. So he's not high value. High value is when you are valuable to others. That is what makes you high value. That's what makes you top tier. It's like, oh wow, like he's valuable to himself, to his girlfriend, his wife, his children, and his community. That's a high value man. That's a high value man. You are not high value. There's no value here. There's some resources. And I don't know, like I've never worked with Cam to know if he offers those resources or does he give those resources freely, or do people have to work for it, or do we have to agree with your stupid choices? Do we have to agree with your character? Do we have to be yes men or yes women to get those resources? You seem like the type where we would have to be yes men and yes women to get those resources. So again, high value, I ain't seeing it. I'm not seeing it at all. And he doesn't have integrity because his character shows that he does not have integrity. So who's really getting value from Cam? I feel like people are tolerating Cam and people are obligated to deal with him. That's it. Your kids are obligated to deal with you. That's it. But valuable, I don't think so.
Because I've been engaged 2.5 times, and because I thought that was the right thing to do. I'm supposed to get married. I'm supposed to have children, and I'm not in a rush to do it wrong anymore.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Going back to what I should ask other sources or other beings, why should a person listen to you?
I've had experience. I could teach you what not to do. I could teach you what to do. I'm not teaching from theory. I'm teaching from...
I'm going to answer that. People should not listen to her. No. I'm just being real. People, listen, when it comes to listening to people, you shouldn't listen to people. You should follow your inner guidance. Okay? And Cam... he's at war with himself, which is why he's confused. He's creating his own confusion because he's not following his inner guidance. His inner guidance is really telling him, I shouldn't get married. It's not for me. But he's at war with himself because he's listening to other people. That's why he's doing this whole live. I figured out what the purpose is behind this live stream with Dr. Sarah is he needs to prove himself. And people who feel the need to prove themselves, you're typically at war with yourself. You're not comfortable with your own behavior. You're not comfortable with how you're being perceived. You're not comfortable with your choices. That's it. Otherwise, if Cam was as confident as he tries to portray himself to be, we would not be here reacting to this live stream, because he would be more self-assured within himself. He wouldn't be looking for outside validation to where we, the masses, need to give him that stamp of approval. He would just move through life the way that he's been moving through life. And he would just make that decision to not get married and not entertain traditional relationships. That's it. So he needs to follow his inner guidance, and he needs to be true to himself. That's it. This is just a mess. And I think it's because he can't, he has a fragile ego. He can't handle constructive criticism. He can't handle criticism. He can't handle people not agreeing with him. That's what this is all about, which is why I said he's not high value, not even when it comes to his resources to a community, because you would have to be a yes man or a yes woman.
Been there, you know, a beingness. I know what it's like to cry myself to sleep because I can't pay my rent. I got sued for $3,500 for living in an apartment, and out of living there for 4 years, I paid my rent twice on time. I know what it's like to have to choose between putting gas in my car or putting food in my fridge. I know what it's like. And all of those, I have these mantras that I live my life through. This is all a part of my story. Things go wrong so that life can go right. All things are happening for my good, even the bad. And most recently, especially in 2023, I was built for this, whatever this may be. And so because I have that mindset, because I have that grit, that perseverance, that resilience, you can't tell me no. Like, nobody can tell me that I haven't, forget the achievements. Yeah, I've done the things.
She said, you can't tell me no. Her and Cam are the same. They're equals. Okay.
I've helped thousands of people create 6- and 7-figure businesses. I've created 7-figure businesses myself. I've done so. That doesn't matter. Honestly, the only thing that I'm impressed by at this point is character. And you could take every single thing away from me that I have, the watches, the purses, the cars, the this, the that, and I'm still going to be dope. Because my character, it's the God in me, really. That's why I think it's honest, it's truth, it's my truth. You never have to guess with me. There's no hidden agendas. It just is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. But all of it is good.
Right. I think in this world of identity,
yeah,
people can identify with anything.
Yeah.
If I was born a man, but I identify as a woman, I can be a woman. Power to you.
Yeah.
But what I will say,
y'all heard her. Y'all heard her. And remember what Cam said in the live stream that he did with Dr. Cheyenne Bryan, when he was like, I'm like a God. I can get a woman to do whatever I want. They are equals. Y'all got to stop making it seem like just because it's a woman that, oh, she not like that. No, it seemed like they in cahoots. Like somebody said, twin, where have you been? That's what it's giving. It ain't about if I like her or not. It ain't about if I like her or not. It really not about if I like her or not. It's truly about I peep game and I see her. That's all. I see her. That's it. This is just me using my damn discernment. You know, something I had to go through the trenches to get. You know, I had to go through some shit for me to get the discernment that I have. And I'm just saying, like, that's like they are equals. They are. They're equals. That's all. That is all. They both seem manipulative to me. It's just, Dr. Sarah, you can't out manipulate the manipulator. And Kim, you can't out manipulate the manipulator. So like this is like some type of pissing contest. I don't know. I feel like we interrupting them. That's what I feel like. I feel like we are invading their privacy. That's what I feel like. I'm like, you know, maybe we shouldn't even be watching this. I don't know. And then I should have known. Because y'all, 4.5 hours, and that's what has been edited. I'm just trying to wrap my head around that. Like, that's a long time. That's crazy. I just don't think y'all understand like how these interviews are set up and the process for these interviews to be set up behind the scenes. It's a lot. So like this could have been a 7-hour recording process. Like seriously, this is a lot. That's why I was like, whoa, I don't know. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Hold on, why should someone listen to Dr. Okay, let's see what else. And then it's just a bunch of I can't even follow what they saying for real because they just be talking.
Is this. If you identify as a doctor, if you identify as a person of prestige, what gives you the right to do it? Because you drunk a Dr. Pepper?
Yeah.
Is it you read a Dr. Seuss book?
Yeah.
Is it you listen to Dr. Dre?
Yeah.
All these are also doctors.
Yeah.
And it goes with who you identify with.
Yeah.
So in this world of identity
Yes.
and high value, high function, submission, submissive,
Yes.
we have to start citing the source of the word.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. All right. Yeah. You say that.
I figured it out. You know, the reason why this conversation is not reaching a point of purpose is because it's two people that love to hear themselves talk, and they have such inflated egos that they're so focused on hearing themselves talk that they don't even realize they're not making sense. Like, a conversation is supposed to come to a conclusion. Like, if you have a topic and then you come to a conclusion and then close. Like, all right, we're gonna move on to the next. It's just a bunch of word salad. Like, it's like, okay, you like to hear yourself talk, go. Then the other person likes to hear themselves talk, go. And then, like, they just keep going back and forth, and it's like, are we reaching a conclusion here? Like, I'm very lost.
But what gives you the right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm on these days. And I don't necessarily want to disrespect you or disrespect anybody who has a platform to speak about certain things. But one of the things that you said that was extremely key, you have experiences. For me, I have experiences. And when I look at your platform, how did that process kind of happen for you to say, you know what, there's a need for that? It's Giving podcast. Where did you come up with the whole look, feel, and coming up with the name?
To be honest, I fumbled into It's Giving. This is the third podcast that I've done, you know, and that's the first podcast, Bless That Man's Heart. I'm so grateful. That's why I'm in Atlanta. I was flying here for 10 days out of every month so we could batch shoot on a Wednesday and a Wednesday. So I would show up on a Tuesday, leave the following Thursday. And when I got here, I was like, yo, I could be going so much harder. And so I ended up moving to Atlanta. And as far as It's Giving goes, I you know, people have different visions, and I accept that. People have different ideas for where it is that they want to go. And sometimes it's not in alignment with where it is that I want to go. And so no one is a bad person. No podcast is a bad podcast. Like you said, identify with what works for you. And I identified that me telling my truth and having guests that I want to have on my show was something that I was really excited about. And if other people weren't as excited, I love that for y'all. I'm gonna go over here and do this. And so it was actually a conversation I was having with my sister Lauren and her husband actually. And I was like, I really want to start this podcast, but I don't know what I'm going to call it. And I was going to call it All the Things because I always say, oh, all the things. And we talk all the things on the podcast. And my brother-in-law was like, shout out to you, Kenton and Lauren. My brother-in-law was like, why don't you call it It's Giving? And I was like, wait, what? I actually really love that. So I checked for the trademark. I was like, oh my God, it's not trademarked. And so, you know, did all the things and all the legal work and all the paper, but It's Giving is a lifestyle for me. Anyone that knows me knows when you come around me, you're literally and figuratively, mentally and emotionally going to get some things. I'm constantly giving away. Like, someone says, oh, I love this. Here, you can have it. Oh, it's yours. You know, like giving in a world full of takers, be a giver. And so when he said that, it was so in alignment with who I was immediately. It was like, yes. And then as far as masculinity and femininity, I feel like there's such a divide between men and women right now, especially Black men and women. And I hate that for us because there's nothing more powerful than a Black family. There's just nothing more powerful, and no shade or no disrespect to any other race, ethnicity, culture, whatever. But in what I've seen us do and overcome, what obstacles we've defeated and just we're killing it in this day and age, it's like we started back so far and yet we've still progressed this far. What's more powerful than that? And so for me, I do feel like in the world where there's more single Black mothers than anything else, In a world where women are stuck very much so, I believe, in their masculine, and in a world where a lot of men in 2024 are lacking leadership and are more on the spectrum of feminine, I think there's a lane for this. And I also just want to say, Cam, because I feel like people get, they're like, men are like, I'm not feminine at all. No, every man and every woman has both masculine and feminine. The highest level on the spectrum of masculinity still has 10 to 20% femininity. We need that because it's the nurturing, it's the cooing, it's the affection, it's the flow state, right? And every woman should have 10 to 20% masculinity. It's the certainty, it's the decisiveness. If you're not in—
I need a coquito. Listen. Is this what men be talking about when they be taking women out on a date and the women be talking and talking and talking and she never shows like her personality and stuff? Is that what they mean by that? I need a coquito, y'all. I'm gonna have to log out. I'm gonna need to go get a coquito because this is crazy. I can't. This is crazy. I need a drink, a strong one too. We're gonna have to put some extra rum up in that because this is crazy. I ain't heard a word she said. You ever, like, where my introverts, where my ADHD people at? When you start to feel drained and you the person's still talking, but you ain't heard a word they said because you start distancing yourself. Whew, I ain't heard nothing she said. She right. Whatever she said, listen, she's speaking with conviction and hey, she got it. She got it. I don't know. This is too much.
In a relationship, you got to protect yourself, right? But I think the problem is it's seeming like more and more people are 50-50 or 60-40 in the opposite end. And
you know what's crazy? I don't even feel like this conversation is deep. I don't feel like this conversation is deep. I feel overstimulated if at best, but I don't think the conversation is deep at all. I think that's part of the problem. It's not deep. It's like I said, it's just a bunch of word salad. Somebody said in the chat, it's like we had a buffet. It's like we're at a buffet salad or something, salad bar. And it's a buffet salad bar or something like that. That's all I'm getting. I'm about to move on.
So I think there's an opportunity for us to highlight, what is it that you say? You have so many women that are like, I want a masculine man, but are you okay with the amount of time that he has? I want a masculine man, but are you okay with how the first thought he has when you come home is not to rub your feet? He's thinking about getting his feet rubbed. I want a man, and vice versa. So I think that it's just important to reinstill the dynamic of masculine and feminine in the house, and or I don't want to say gender roles because I feel like the only roles are the ones you create, but to just be inside of that. Stop being who the world has labeled you as. Take them off and be.
This reminds me of them prayers right before Thanksgiving, and you trying to eat, you hungry, you've been waiting all day, you done seen other people on social media, they family done already ate, and you been waiting, it's like 7-8 o'clock, almost 8:30, and the food is finally ready, and then somebody got the audacity to pray a long prayer, need to bless everybody in the room. It's just like, oh my goodness. That's what this is giving, y'all. This is giving that long prayer where you start to open up your eyes, okay, let's bow our heads. You bow your heads, and then the prayer's so long, you start to look at other people like, damn, okay, we still going? Okay. Then it just gets so long, you just open your eyes. It's like, okay, like, you know what I mean? That's what it's giving. It's really giving that. So we gonna move on because I don't even know what they talking about. I have no idea. I done disassociated. I do that sometimes. I clock out. But I wanted to talk about, hold on, let me see. I wanted to talk about the Ice Cube interview because my goodness. I called it. They are energy vampires. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant and Kim, they energy vampires for sure.
Rash that was nude, that was like, right in your face.
So this is the part in the interview where Ice Cube talks about how he was able to balance out NWA and family, and for whatever reason, family time, which for whatever reason, Kim just could not understand. It was almost like he wanted something more, like he wanted someone that could relate to him not being a high value man. You know what I mean? Because I told you, high value, if you are not valuable to people that you share spaces and relationships with, then you're not valuable to anyone. If you're not valuable to your family, you're not able to protect them mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you're not valuable to them. You are traumatizing. So he just could not understand Ice Cube's point of view. This is a mature man. He old school. And let's just get into it.
All the while morphing into this movie director or this writer, but also being a family man, a husband at the same time. So how are you able to compartmentalize these real emotions that as a Black man, that's an issue for us to be able to be tough, paint this persona of a person, but have a family at home, but also knowing that in this industry, whether it's in Hollywood or any type of professional platform, you got to be able to maneuver in a way that the streets may not be the best advocate or the way you need to kind of operate. So how have you been able to like shake that?
You know, my family's the most important thing to me. You know, you got to prioritize by saying what's the most important thing in your life. And then everything else should be able to fall in place up under that. And as an entertainer, I want to be, you know, incredible in what I do as an entertainer, but as a man, I want to be just as incredible.
Yeah.
You know, and
he said, as a man, I want to be just as incredible. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. He said, as a man.
Be there for my family, present as much as I can. So
he said, present as much as I can. Present. That shows emotional intelligence.
I can be in the streets a lot more than I do, but that ain't where I want to be. You know, I'd rather be present and there for the people who've been there for me.
Do you come from?
What is this man wearing? What is he wearing? What is he wearing, y'all? What? Listen, this man needs to just come on out the closet because ain't no way. He got this flamboyant style and it's tacky. It's tacky. He need to come out the closet so he can ask the gays for some fashion advice because, like, that is tacky. They would never do that. They would, y'all, the gays would never. This is unacceptable. I just don't understand. Like, what? And why is his pants never long enough? I know he got enough money to get them tailored. I know the gays would just be like, absolutely not. You need to take that off. I know they would. That's why he need to come out the closet. Because then he could get some help. He could get some fashion direction. This is crazy. That is tacky. It's just tacky. Like and then I'm confused because like his shirt and his hat, it's like, oh, I'm trying to dress casual. But the lower part and then the jacket he threw on, it's giving streetwear. I'm confused. It's giving athletic wear.
Do you come from that though?
What you mean?
Like family. You know, like you're married.
Yeah, my mother and father was together. I got a brother and two sisters. They're older than me. Yeah, we had a tight group. You know, you fuck with one, we all running out the house.
Yeah. But like you and your wife in this truth of hip hop.
Yeah,
you feel me? That when you talk about money, cars, clothes, hoes, fucking these bit like, but the reality is like my wife, my kids, being there for the things that are important, that was always your foundation. You know what I'm saying? How are you able to stay true to that foundation all the while still being a prominent, figure in the culture?
And it's show business. This ain't the streets. My wife, she come from South Central Los Angeles too. We both grew up, with gang banging and dope dealing all around, all kind of shit we all grew through. And
Cam, and you can't relate to that because you grew up in a 2-parent household, which is why your choices don't make any sense to Ice Cube. I can tell you right now, it don't make no sense to this man. It don't. Because he tried to create what you grew up in. He tried to recreate that with the woman that he's been with. But I don't. We all trying to understand it because it truly don't make no damn sense. Now I have speculated this. Did your father cheat on you with other women in front of you? Because ladies, that's a common thing. That's a common thing. Oh, some of these men was out here married, cheated, had their son with them around the other woman. It's very common.
And to be a part of entertainment is a blessing, and not have to be in that grind constantly. So we recognize that, and this is fun. We shouldn't, make this complicated, or you definitely shouldn't, bring the street element into business, especially when it's not needed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what's the relationship or the marital hack to stay? How long you been married?
We've been married since 92. So what is that, 32 years?
They got married the year I was born, y'all. That's beautiful. That is so beautiful.
How? Like for the masses.
We want to be.
Yeah.
You gotta want it. You just gotta want it, man. You can't like, I don't want nobody to have my woman. She mine. I'm hers.
What's the word that we just had somebody on? The relationship.
Cam, you didn't have nothing to say about that? I mean, you had so much to say with Dr. Sarah. You didn't have nothing to say about that? Nothing at all? He changing the subject. You see how he changing the subject? You see how he's changing the subject, y'all? Because he didn't want to address that.
Has to have staying power.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like certain things in the culture has never changed. It's just all about how you are locked in with your partner. Temptation happens, not just from a man's perspective, but also from a woman's perspective. Tragedy happens. Growing apart happens. You don't stay with a person for as long as you've been with your person and can honestly say, man, every single day I wake up and it's just, doves flying.
I mean, but who in your life is it like that with?
Yeah.
You don't like your mama every day. Some days she get on your nerves. Some day, your brother, sister, people that you love and spend a lot of time with. Every day ain't gonna be roses.
Yeah.
You can't expect that from.
I was having a conversation with both of my parents, and I asked them, I asked them both, I'm like, well, they've been married 35 years. And I asked them, I'm like, what makes your marriage so strong? And the first thing that they said is friendship. They are friends. You're like friendship, and you can even use your girlfriend relationships as an example. You've gone through so many different relationships with men, but what has always remained true? Your friendship. So marriage can't be the only thing that holds your relationship together. It has to be, the foundation has to be friendship. Because your friend can get on your nerves, but at the end of the day, that's your friend though. That's your friend. And I've been around both of my parents separately, and they both do this. Like when my mother, she comes, she visits for Mother's Day, and she can't wait to get back to her friend. Not her husband. She can't wait to get back to her friend because she wants to talk to her friend. She wants to talk about what she did while she was here with me, what she saw, like her experience, share photos, have conversation. That's what she wants to do. And then with my dad, when he comes to visit, same thing. He can't wait to get back to his friend. He's so excited to tell his friend about the trip, what's going on with me, and what we were doing. It's friendship, y'all. Friendship. Marriage can't be the only thing holding your relationship together. It has to be friendship. And that's one thing that I noticed with my parents that have been married that long. My grandparents' relationship, it wasn't like that. It was opposite. It was the opposite of that. They were more like roommates in married. My parents were friends in married, and I see why their relationship is the way that it is. They get excited about each other. So I could see that. But my grandparents, they weren't excited to see each other. They were annoyed. They were annoyed to see each other, like, oh, I gotta go deal with them. It was more like that. So I think friendship is the most important. I don't think it's perfect. I don't think it's perfection. I don't think I really think it's friendship, y'all. I really do. I really, really do. And I'm pretty sure, considering he grew up in South Central LA, his wife did too. They're friends, y'all. Like, they are friends. So, and I believe that that's why they're still married after 32 years. So it's just something to think about. I feel like nowadays we don't create that foundation for friendship because we tend to hop in bed with people fast, and we don't create that foundation for friendship. And I think that's important. I think a lot of the marriages that have lasted 30 years, 40 years, they were friends, because marriage can't be the only thing holding the two of you together. Vows can't be the only thing holding the two of you together. It has to be friendship. And when you, like I said, when you compare your girlfriend relationships out of all the boys that you dated when you was in high school, college, they never lasted. But that friendship did, though. So make sure you keep that in mind, even when it comes to your romantic relationships, that you create that friendship bond first. I think that's important.
From your spouse, you know what I mean? It's all about, are y'all a family or not? Now, and that has nothing to do with marriage, because I've seen people break up and still be just as tight as they was when they was together.
For sure.
And there for each other, you know, all the way, you know, in sickness and all that, just still there because they made a commitment with each other, even though they might not be able to live with each other.
Yeah.
You know.
So again, friendship, friendship.
So it's really all about, you know, a real commitment, and not, you know, looking for, you know, all your needs to be met all the time. You know, it's you know, you got to be willing to give. You know,
for sure.
And as a person that you want to give to.
And Cam, he said it's not always about your needs always being met all the time. But I'm sure he didn't write that down. I'm sure he didn't take that. I'm sure he didn't even hear that.
Your time, effort, and love.
Right. So even on the family tip, like, you have children, right, that indirectly or directly were raised in this entertainment world. You know what I'm saying? How has that been for you? Like, I only know O'Shea, right? But you obviously have other kids. Are they involved in the industry?
Here and there, you know, as they want to be. My oldest son, Daryl, he helped me produce Straight Outta Compton. He's helped me out with my properties and my businesses, and so he's not in front of the camera, he's behind the scenes. And my youngest two, they still having fun, just living their life, enjoying themselves, and luckily they can do that.
Yeah. But even like for me, having children, right? And there was a cultural word recently, especially when the NBA draft happened, nepotism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How do you?
What's wrong with nepotism?
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it.
That's what I'm saying. Like nepotism is it's a beautiful thing.
For sure. It happens in every culture. It happens in every business. It happens in every.
It's especially a beautiful thing in Black culture, because the only thing we can pass down to our kids, and I just got to be honest, is trauma. That's it. So I'm here for this. I'm here for LeBron James' son, hell, Cam's son, if he wants to go out and do it. It's just my issue is, LeBron James has a great foundation, even though I believe he be cheating with blonde-haired Caucasian women, but that's a conversation for another day. But at least the foundation is there, like the family foundation is there for that to take place. So I don't see nothing wrong with it. But Kim, you're ruining your legacy by having these other side pocket conversations about your relationships. You're ruining the chances for your son, because who's going to really respect them though? These two men, LeBron James, even though I know he be out here, we don't never see nothing. We don't see it on the blogs. And then Ice Cube, he has a family last name. He has that family structure. So these two families and their children can go off and enjoy the labor of the hard work from their parents. So, but Kim, what are you doing for your kids? Embarrassing them on a large platform that you're building that you could pass down to them or to one of them?
As it should.
Right. But how do you fight the balance of giving too much, which now causes a handicap or more reliant, or that fine balance of like your children really is intrigued about certain things, like bringing them on the right time. You know what I'm saying? Or just forcing them in. Like there's
Ice Cube is going to talk about that. Like it still has to be earned. But hey, I got you the audition. It still has to be earned. But I linked you up with this photographer or this magazine. It still has to be earned though. And Northwest is not out here earning the positions, the opportunities that she's really getting. Like it's just being handed to her. So the kids have to do their part. You know what I mean? And that's the issue with Northwest. But he's going to get into that here in a second.
Certain situations where you ain't got no choice. You're going to school to run this family business. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it's like, Dad, I don't want to be you. Mom, like, fuck up, So how have you been able to kind of navigate that with your family?
Well, you got to, for one, let them be themselves, and also try to figure out what turns them on. Let them know all the ways to get into the business, be a part of the business. If that's what you want, there's paths.
Yeah.
Whatever turns you on, take a look and see, kick the tires, see what you want to be a part of, and then I'll help you in that aspect. But it got to be the passion from within. And some of my kids could care less about the business. They into their own thing, which I help them in that way, any way, shape, or form on that level too. I think it's important. I think it's the natural order of things to show your children how to do what you can do and then put them in a place where they can succeed.
Yeah. Do you think nepotism has a long-term impact, or is it respected in our culture or in our race? Meaning, like,
I don't know if it's respected.
It's not respected. I'm gonna answer that. It's not respected. And y'all know why. We all have to go through a struggle in order for us to be respected in our culture, because that's just Black culture.
Yeah, but I know everybody who on a job, I hear family members saying, "Can you get me on? Man, who you know up there? Can you get me hired? Just talk to somebody, man." I want, or the family be like, "Man, you should bring your ass up here and fill out an application and get a job with me."
Yeah.
So I don't understand the big problem with it. I know people are upset when now. Here's the part of nepotism that I think irritates people. When somebody get there and they not ready or they can't do the job and they stay in that position.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That to me is where it backfires. But if somebody can actually do it and are working to get great at it,
For sure.
why not? When you put it, when I put my son in a position where he could land the role for Straight Outta Compton, because he had to audition, he had to go through Donna Langley and the brass up at Universal to get the part. All I could do is get him in the audition room.
Right.
It's
And
up
you
to
still gotta
him.
do your work.
It's up to him to land the role. And if they would have called me and said, "Q, it ain't gonna work. We found a better," because I wasn't in that process, didn't want to be, because I didn't want people to be like, I just stuck my son in the movie and he wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And
that's respectable to me. I feel like that's respectable to me because he played the hell out of that role. His son played the hell out of that role.
It worked out, but he did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
At the time, at the time he was supposed to do it.
I'm gonna give you these examples that just came to mind, like nepotism that we see on the forefront of entertainment, right? The obvious is LeBron James and Bronny.
Mm-hmm.
Also, another obvious is Deion Sanders and his family.
Yeah.
Right. But is that the same?
Denzel Washington, his son, in the piano lesson was really good too. That was really good. That was really good. And I really enjoyed the piano lesson, y'all. But let's not forget about Denzel Washington and his son as well, because they whole family, they did that on Netflix with the piano lesson.
When you look at a guy who created an empire in WWE with Vince McMahon, you see his daughter, his son.
I mean, Rick Barry's sons, played in the league.
Yeah.
A few different coaches had their sons playing in the league. It happens if they're good enough. Everybody talking about LeBron's son, but he's still a pro.
Mm-hmm.
All rookies don't stay with the squad sometimes. Sometimes they go to the G League to get more run, get more touches, stay ready. And that happens to a lot of pros. So people, are saying that that's not working or that's nepotism going wrong. But I'm saying, nah, it's still working. He's still on the team. He still got a shot to step up.
So in regards to going back to your son, right? What was that process like when he was like, "Pop, I want to act"?
No, I asked him.
No way.
He never asked me that he wanted to act. I knew we was going to do the Straight Outta Compton movie. And I was like, I had taken him on tour with me and let him do a few songs with me and got his beak wet on, just doing that. So I knew he had the energy and I knew he could do it. And so, but would he take it serious? Would he become an actor? That's the part I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, the coach's son got it the hardest.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's damn, you just said something. It's because it's the pressures on both sides, the pressure to perform and the pressure to fight while you're not even performing. You know what I'm saying? And everybody don't see that. Mm-hmm. We all got our own struggles, but his performances has been approved
Yes.
Not just approved like from the parents or the family. Like, oh shit, son, you did good. It's like, no, nigga, this motherfucker really showed his ass and was like, yo.
I mean, he's a great actor.
Would you give him the grace to saying he's a better actor than you?
Yeah, I would. I would.
You just saying that because that's your son?
Nah, I don't watch him get down.
Yeah,
I don't watch him get down. You know, I think, I think he better.
But it's. Do you, from him, and I know you can't speak for him, do you see it all?
I believe he's telling the truth about that because Ice Cube is a writer. He's a producer. I don't think he's really big on acting, but his son seems like he's more of an actor and possibly a writer, but I think actor before writer. So it just seems like the talent is well-versed, if anything, but they have their strong suits. And I think Ice Cube is just a better writer, producer, and his son is just a better actor. You know, sometimes that's just the case.
Always being on screen, has he ventured off into behind the scenes as well too?
Yeah, you know, he's a writer too. He went to USC, you know, as a script writer.
Yeah.
So he's a writer too. And he just got bit by the acting bug. And he's in demand. Yeah. You know, he doing a podcast now.
Wait a minute, I was right about that because I didn't watch this all the way through. I was right about that.
For wrestling, WWE, Rich Eisen, some kind of, him and another guy. Get the guy name. Sorry, dude.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah. But they doing a podcast every Wednesday, you know, talking to the biggest wrestlers in the game. You know, kind of what you're doing, going behind the curtain, you know what I mean? Behind the glitz and glamour, getting to the real people.
Okay, I just wanted to share that with you all. So that is just a lot of y'all were asking for my thoughts and opinions regarding the podcast episode with Dr. Sarah. And I just feel like he invited a woman onto his platform that was his equal, someone that he could have a conversation with. And it just showed, and it was to, again, recover from the ego injury that he experienced after Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. So that's just my thoughts and my opinions. Please give the video a thumbs up. Let me know what else you would like for me to react to. And I hope to catch you in my next one. And yes, I'm trying to do a lunch break combo tomorrow. Like I have a laser hair removal appointment at 9:30. I don't know how long it's going to take, but after that, I should be able to do my lunch break conversation because it's been a minute and I need to do a lunch break combo. So please give the video a thumbs up. Look out for that tomorrow because you know those conversations go on Patreon. So if you're trying to get it for the free, you know I'm not gonna stop you from saving some coins. I'm gonna go live and do a lunch break combo tomorrow. So I hope to see you. And I hope to see you in my next one. So please give the video a thumbs up. Turn on your post notifications. All right. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's evening.